Yo, good morning, everyone. Let's talk about Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty is really cool. You know why? Because it dabbles science fiction. It's kind of crazy, There's this recurring thing. I'll talk about it as many times as I have to. It's like anytime something good happens, something has to ruin it to make it look like it's fucking ridiculous, so people don't approach it. I know that. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of those fucking. You need a high IQ to understand Rick and Morty. Well, every show has those moments. Like shows have like fucking hundreds of writers. So okay, not hundreds, but you know what I mean. They have a shit ton of writers, and they consult all sorts of people to fact check random shit. I like The Simpsons better, but like The Simpsons died, so it's like maybe not. Yeah, Rick and Morty is fucking cool. You know, it poses a question: what happens when you have all the omnipotent abilities in the fucking world? What happens? Basically, you become your own worst enemy because when you have control of everything, the only thing that can stop you is yourself. It's kind of weird. I feel like there's some truth in that. You see, we want to be like Rick or Morty. I don't know. We want to be like Rick. Morty's badass. Don't get me wrong. He can be a bitch sometimes, but he throws down. But the reason why we want to be like Rick is because we want to be in that situation where we have everything we want. And the downside of being like out of control outweighs the good of getting whatever the hell you want. But the thing is, once you get whatever you want, things lose value. But here's the thing I'm talking about. Maybe there's so much pollution in the world, so much pollution in the mind that you really can get whatever the hell you want. You just need to put your mind to it. That's the fucking moral. That's the moral of Rick and Morty. That's the moral of Rick and Morty. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of science fiction tropes, but the whole idea is that put your mind to it. You could be just like Rick Sanchez. I forgot who fucking said this. This is one of the creators, but it's like every one of us has been Rick at one point in our lives. It's just like Rick has bigger fish to fry. He has to deal with like, aliens and shit and other versions of himself. But it's funny, people are aliens, people are other versions of ourselves. So I think that's cool. There's a little message. But maybe it's my message. Maybe that's not the message they're trying to tell you. Maybe that's my message that I received. Yeah, Rick and Morty's freaking weird. Rick and Morty has a lot in common with The Simpsons. And it's like they try real hard to differentiate themselves. Differentiate. They try real fucking hard. Look at the pupils. Look at the pupils. Little tiny blotches. Think of the resolution on those things. It's like, do they just copy and paste those pupils? It's like sometimes they look real close, and none of the pupils are alike. Like a little attention to detail. I like that. Yeah, Rick and Morty is pretty cool. There needs to be another Rick and Morty. Like a whole nother show just like Rick and Morty, but just like completely turned on its head. A more realistic show where all that crazy interdimensional shit does happen. It's just like people are, they don't know how all that affects their lives. It would be like a show where people live their normal lives and all this crazy shit happens. And it's like people don't realize how that affects them. They don't realize how the crazy shit at the top trickles down to the bottom. But yeah. The thing about Rick and Morty is like, or at least Rick. Rick, he's prepared for every situation he's given. He has like an answer for everything. That's insane. That's insane because like, you cannot, honest to God, walk around acting like Rick without an answer to everything. There's no way. That's why he's the best character, because he can't exist for longer than fucking 2 months. But you know what I mean. 20 people try to kill Rick every day. Yeah, every day. 20 people, and he gets high with most of them. It's really cool. I kind of want to be like that. At the same time, I don't. I don't want to be infamous. I'm pushing it too far already. It's like I'm not infamous for anything, but like just having my fucking shit on the internet just spooks me sometimes. Like, thank goodness I've never gotten the fame or fortune that I ever wanted. Because imagine how fucked up that could have been on my shoulders. Imagine the decisions I would have made. I would have just spent it all on like a really dumb movie. like Kevin Smith and like Quentin Tarantino, you know, they sell all your shit and buy the plot of land with the treasure. Like, sell all your shit and make a movie. You know, like, do you know how hard that is? Do you know how much balls it takes? You know, like, I could do that now, just sell all my shit, make a movie. But imagine if I had capital. I would have spent it all in one big ridiculous movie. You know, maybe there would have been some good that comes out of that, but I don't want to be a Tommy Wiseau now. Hell no. I'm not a Tommy Wiseau. Wazoo, up the wazoo, wise guy, yeah? Yeah. Well, it's only been 6 minutes. Feels like it's been running a lot longer. You know what? I'm just gonna cut it here. This has been, a talk about Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty.